Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to look at something that we used to call the cube. This is back when I first started, and from our 2020 save. Basically, before we opened up everything, allowing us to split and organize and everything else, we had to come up with an idea of how to distribute without having something like that, where it just spaghettis everything together. So what I came up with is this cube. So I'm going to show you how we built this cube. First off, let's get the industrial storage container. Let's put 5 out. So we start with our 5. Basically we're going to have our input and our output all facing the same direction. What we're going to do next is reverse it, so the output's on this side for that one, and that one. So now we're starting to look a little like a pillar. Reverse the tops. Now this is where it changes a little bit. What we got to do is put a regular storage container, make sure the output is facing north, and then make sure the output is facing out. This will allow us to change the directions of these two locations. So instead of going out, we want them to come in, which will allow us to redistribute everything on these bottom levels throughout all these containers. So whatever's going in will be redistributed evenly on the way out. So let's say this one is empty. It should take from any of these other containers that are over full, redistribute it through the block, and put it into that container. Now, this is where it gets a little confusing but easy. The front is pretty straightforward. You just run your connections. Connect, 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 connect. So it should look something like that. Then we're going to take the top containers and feed them to the other containers. Then we'll take this belt and feed it over top of the cube. Like I said, the front is fairly straightforward. Just connect everything up, run your belts, and recycle the material up top. On the back is where it gets a little confusing. Make sure we got our Mark III belts. We're setting it up basically the same way. Except the outer ones you want like that. So now we got the basic setup, nice, straightforward, easy. Now this is where the storage containers come into play. So instead of cycling it back down like these other two or other 3 are doing, it's going to go up to those half containers. Our output is going to connect over to the other side. Change our bolt back. Same as the front. Now, to get that nice clean look that we all love, this is where it takes a little finessing. Normally you could just connect like that, and if you don't mind clipping, it's pretty doable. But I don't like clipping if I can avoid it. So what we do is we take that bottom container, turn that one backwards, do the same for this one, which allows us to connect to that one and feed it in line with that one. And that should be a clean connection if it wants to connect. Now we can get rid of these bottom ones. And run our lines into recycle. So now what we created is just a loop here, because the front of this container goes into this one, then back into this one. And that would be our first loop. So these aren't really doing anything except for allowing us to change directions on these two containers. Now, it used to just feed the bottom one first and then the top one, so it always gave priority to the bottom before the top. So if the bottom wasn't going anywhere, the top would definitely still go. It was worked sort of like a splitter, but it wasn't. So now that just goes to the next container, does the same thing. Bottom first, feeds that container. It just cycles. Bottom container fills up, cycles it to the next one. And then, yeah, don't forget to connect the top. Once that last one gets full, it's going to refill the first one. Basically push everything to the right, and then once the right's, push everything to the left. And that would be the cube. Which is something we used to do before we opened up splitters. Thank you. Have a nice day.